Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Journey podcast. Today we got Justin and Brandon from MFMF.
What's up?
Sir, what's on the radio?
So formal one, I always start.
Very formal, yeah.
Okay. So I'll be on my prim and proper self.
No, when you said that, right, immediately I thought, whoa, usually when we get the radio, that's what we have to do. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, okay, so a bit of background, right? So I knew Justin back in university, Monash, we used to study there together, and I used to see Justin in the library, how he was doing his DJing, that kind of stuff. So Justin, what sparked that interest, what sparked that kind of like hobby for you to go into like DJing back then?
Okay, I think as a kid, I've always wanted to do music, but my parents didn't have much money. They said, don't do music. Okay, why don't you learn taekwondo instead?
Really?
I said, hey, can I have a piano or can I have a guitar? Then they say, oh no lah. I think maybe you try taekwondo lah. I mean, they don't see value in music, but I've always been interested because my dad likes to collect CDs. So as a kid, you're always influenced by music, and so as we get older, I think I got my first guitar when I was 16. Very late bloomer, by the way. So I had to learn all this stuff through YouTube. Right, that time YouTube was crap. Anyway, then let me think. Then after coming to uni, I wanted to get involved in music again, and EDM was big at the time. So then naturally, if you don't know anything about music, you go DJing lah. You try out the DJing route. So when that was during uni time, that was maybe about 2015, 2014, yeah. Then I picked up DJing. After a while, it got a bit boring because it's just one deck to the right deck to the left deck, right deck. I mean, I'm no pro lah, but at the basic level, it gets boring pretty quickly. So I immediately shifted to trying music production. So I think when you met me at the time, when you saw me doing that, I'm probably like 2-3 months in only. Songs were sounding like crap. I was producing between classes,
Wow.
Yeah.
In the library.
In the library.
Because that's such a good idea, right?
Yeah, why not? You know what I mean? So putting out ideas, laying it down, just trying stuff out lah. You know what I mean?
So that was when Spouts was born, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So what was your first music that you did, and what was your feeling doing it, and how did it get big after that?
Okay, so like Spuds, so before Spuds came to be, it's just myself, so I made music by myself in the library. So the songs were crap, honestly, they were god-awful crap, I still have the recording somewhere, on my SoundCloud, old SoundCloud. What was the question again? Sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, so it's like, what was the first music that you produced, and, what was the feeling like?
Okay, the first song that I made was a remix of Nico and Vid's That's How You Fucked Up. Right, that was a remix that I did with BB Rexha's voice. I remember very clearly because it was the first song I've ever done. Yep. So I think once I've done that piece of music, really gave me that high I was chasing. Okay, so all my life, right, I try doing different things, and nothing really sticks to me except for music, because music allows that kind of when you create something, there's a certain kind of euphoric feeling, So when you create something like that, it gave me that satisfaction that I couldn't find anywhere else, I mean, I sound like an the understimulated dog, right? In that sense. Like I need the exercise. My brain needs that outlet to release, you know what I mean? So creating music was the one thing that really gave me that release. Whereas like if I'm DJing, one thing I'm not creating, you see, I'm just merely mixing someone's music. It got boring very fast.
Wait, so when this was like solo, like this is before you met Zen?
Before Zen.
Okay, I guess just to reset, because Spuds is actually a duo, a DJ duo, right? So Zen, who's not here today, and Justin.
So I represent lah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me try to skim the story down a bit. Okay, so me and Zen met through a forum called loudya.net. Okay, it's dodgy ass forum lah. Okay.
Thanks for saying it. Everybody was thinking,
Yeah, so then after that, what happened? We met up. Luckily, he didn't catfish me. I didn't get kidnapped or whatever. Okay, so we became good friends. We made music together. Then we thought, hey, why don't we combine and we do something about it? So then we had a few releases during the time when we were all still working hours at PwC at the time. So
Zen was
working as a civil engineer.
How do you find time to work with PwC? That's crazy.
It's grind. Okay, so usually, Big 4, what time we get off work? Maybe, lucky 7 lah. Best maybe.
It's like half day, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we just started only, right? So good thing about my work that time, I was doing transfer pricing for PwC under the tax department. So usually, if I can get my stuff done very fast, maybe by 8, I'll be back home. Okay, so 9 o'clock, Zen will come over to the house. We will start making music until like 2 a.m. Then next day, we do all that over and over again.
How long did you do this for?
I think a year plus. Yeah, then it was getting super tiring already. But I think once you release music on your own long enough, you kind of know that you need to go all in. If you don't go all in, you can't tell how far is this going to go. And I think I remember asking Zen this question: do we really want to just keep trying like that?
Yeah.
Or like, do we just take 1 year off and see what can we do from it? Will we regret this 1 year? So we thought that, what's 1 year? If I'm going to I don't want to be 35 or 40 and regretting not taking that 1 year off. You know what I mean? I mean, because working in corporate, the progression is very linear. I mean, you see the seniors do it, you know what I mean? It's the same. There's no jump or whatever. So we thought, hey, what's 1 year? Let's take a leap of faith. I don't have a lot of savings then, you know what I mean? So I thought, hey, but the passion, the drive for me to want to try, like, it means more to me than anything else.
But on what basis did you make that decision? Like, I'm sure you would have seen a little bit of traction in terms of your music.
Yeah. I think looking back right now, there was no traction.
So it was just pure faith.
It was pure faith. But at that time, I thought, there were some signs that things were picking up, But I think it's a selective bias. Like, I wanted to see that, you know what I mean? So I could give myself the reason to say, okay, let's quit, But looking back right now, it was like just pure faith, So once we quit already, I quit first, then Zen quit because he needed to collect bonus first. Bonus. You work a whole damn year and you walk away without bonus? Come on, So he quit after Chinese New Year, after he get a bonus. Then, so first 2-3 months after me quitting, it's all about upskilling. But I wanted to take my skills to the next level. So I paid for online courses and stuff. I just really grind just to take the quality to the next level. So what happened after that is we decided, you know what? Since what we can do is make music, and at that time, our sound was still ahead of most producers locally at that time, right? So we thought that, okay, what can we provide in terms of value? Because we don't sing, we only make music, dance music, Avicii and all, right? You always need a singer. So what singers need? Songs. What I can do? Songs. So we try to match that value and tell them that, hey, you jump on my track, sing on it, we write this together, then we release it, then hey, win-win for everybody. There's no payment required and whatnot,
But why did you do that? Is it more to just get exposure?
Yeah, really. I think collaboration is really the way to go. So I think without those collaborations, nobody would knew about us. We even take that model and just use it for MFMF until today as well. Like, collaboration is key for our growth. So what we did for Spuds at the time is we released like 4-5 songs month back to back, So just to get traction, and we did kind of like made some noise, people kind of knew about us already.
But how was the hits back then? Is there any attractions? Are your views going up to 100K, 200K?
Yeah. I think it was climbing already. Like, our Spotify was really gaining traction. We were getting playlisting everywhere. Like, our songs were getting into workout playlists.
Nice.
So we had good numbers. So when you want to pitch to an artist that you want to work with who maybe is slightly above than you don't want to be like, hey guys, want to collab that? But you got nothing to back it up, you know what I mean? It's all about value, you know what I mean? It's not just about, hey, why don't you want to work with me? Talent enough is not good enough. So it's all about value exchange. So we thought then, okay, because we have these Spotify numbers, you jump on the track, it benefits both of us. You have the Instagram followers, I have Spotify numbers. So if that's what you want, so yeah.
I think very similar to us as well, right, Scott? For us as well, is about what the guests were like. Why should I be on your show, right? Like, you need to show the value that we have, the shows that we've done, right? So very similar as well.
Yeah. I think this practice about value exchange it's universal, you know what I mean? Without, if nobody sees the value, then why do I? Unless this guy is damn good,
So I also read that you had a deal with Universal back then, right? Universal came to you and all that. So how was that? What made them come to you? What was your one point that they thought these guys are actually pretty good?
Oh, I think we were releasing music for a while. So then they wanted a remix, for one of their artists. So we thought, okay, cool. Let's do a remix. But that time your indie, then Universals come to you and ask you want to do remix. Of course, what the hell now?
It's big exposure.
Yeah, it's big exposure. So I think from there, so we got paired up with this artist duo called Bait as well. Bait had the idea in the scene, right? So I think that us making the song together with them, and they expose us to their crowd. So I think that kind of just continued to spread the word about ourselves. But mind you, all this time we're not making any money. It's zero.
It's a sacrifice you have to make.
Burning through savings, eat the chakpan, make sure you don't eat your cafe with $15 avocado toast or 30 ringgit. I don't know how much is it these days.
What was there a point where you thought this cannot work? Was there any point in that you're burning through your savings and all that? Was there any point?
We had a lot of breaking points, honestly. A few times that we were like, he really can or not. You know what I mean? Music, honestly, right? Music as a career is the hardest thing to do. Honestly. So if you ever get like, if you think about it, really think twice. You know what I mean?
Not twice, 4 times, 5 times at least.
You know what I mean? I would say really have a plan. I didn't have a plan, but somehow, right, when I look back, right, because I didn't have a plan, that's why I was so desperate and like, you know, it's either do or die already, you know what I mean? And like, I had a point to prove. I cannot just like, hey, boss, can I have my old job back? And I'm just like, hey, your little DJ thing failed, is it? You know?
Ego as well, right?
I
You
mean,
have to
yeah,
be
pride,
successful,
you know what I
right?
mean? Pride, in a sense, you know, because I made such a thing. I told my family, you know, I'm just gonna do this, and of course, Asian family, no need to say lah.
Yeah.
Music and Asian is like no. You know what I mean? You know, even me and my parents' relationship weren't good for a while. You know what I mean? Because dude, this guy. Okay, so background, I did accounting and finance during uni, and I was trying to finish up my CFA already. I was in my final paper. Then my parents like, what the hell? You spend like, you know, money on you. You're like a pig. I'm supposed to slaughter you later to makan, you know. But you know, at the end you go, you know.
Yeah.
So in the end, you know, so I think it's really because the lack of funds that we have, so it built a lot of grit in us.
You had to make it.
Had to make it no matter what. Yeah. So like because generally me and Zen, we are quite introverted as well. I mean, even now, just maybe it's improving lah over the year. You know what I mean? So like because of that desperation and you know, needing to make a point, we just said, you know what, we just really need to go and meet people. You know what I mean? Which is not usually our comfort zone.
Was that when you met Brandon?
Yeah, actually, yeah. It's one of those like, okay, let's go talk to some people during events.
How did you guys first meet each other?
We met at an event at Tiffin, right?
Yeah. So it was like a food, music event.
That was at Gasket Alley still, right?
Yes, this was
yeah,
Gasket
yeah,
Alley.
yeah,
Yeah, like I was there because I mean I've always been in the scene. I think I've been as of right now like maybe 10, 12 years. I don't know, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Like. So I've been around longer. We met through a mutual friend. Yeah, who introduced us together, and then I was like, okay lah, like, cause I'm an extrovert, right? So I'll just meet anyone, and I'll say hi to anyone, and they were quite awkward lah. I mean, he was on point when they say like he was a lot more introverted back then. I think now it's a bit okay lah.
Yeah, a bit easier.
A bit easier.
Yeah.
So he reached out to you, is it?
I think you guys came up. No, we were introduced and then we just hit it up. I was like, hey, what you do, you know?
Yeah.
I said, I do music, and all that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know?
What
And
was
I
your
find out.
first impression?
Another guy trying to make it in the scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly.
Okay, to be really fair with you, like 9 out of 10, okay, 9 out of 20, no, sorry, 19 out of 20 fail.
Fails.
Yeah. And I've seen the same story over and over again. So for me, call me a pessimist. But I've kind of like seen it, you know, but I will never like rain on your parade, like, or shit on you, like basically. I always say that try, but it's hard, you know, that's it. So I think that was it. I didn't think we got into a lot of depth to the conversation.
Yeah, it was just I think just telling each other what we do.
Yeah, like I know what you're about, you know what I'm
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Okay, thanks, bro. Thanks.
So then how did the whole MFMF start then? You know, like, so how did Brandon get into the picture
You
then?
gotta ask him why you call me.
So okay, to be honest, right? I mean, he's a seasoned person in the scene, so we thought, you know what, you know, it'll be good to have somebody who come and consult for us in terms of how we should do it, because we don't know how to navigate the space. The space it's all uncharted waters. Everybody's path is different. It's not like, you know, I can go to Yuna and be like, okay, this is the roadmap. It's different, you know what I mean? And plus, she's a native Malay speaker. I'm not, you know, that's a totally different thing. So naturally, we reached out to Brandon and said that, what are we gonna do about this? You know what I mean?
No. You came to me first, wanting me to be a booking agent.
Yeah.
You're still trying to do like gigs and all that, because I think money was on the.
Yeah, I mean, money is on the decline, but I think what we thought was that that's the natural progression of an artist, you know what I mean? People doing music, which is performing. You know, you get most of your revenue from performing.
Yeah.
And he is the plug guy, you know what I mean? So, like, hey, you know,
so back then I was managing a lot of talent, right? So I managed an array of singers, bands, hosts, and all that. So I'm pretty connected in terms of like the scene, right? The on-ground scene. So I think that's why you guys think that, maybe Brandon can hook me up with some gigs, then we profit share. Win-win, you know?
Okay.
I think that's how we got the
But clearly
conversation.
that didn't happen, right? So then, how did it change from that? How did it change?
Okay, I think when we set up MFMF before him, we had the...
Oh, so MFMF started before Brandon came in?
Yeah.
Okay, so then, why the name MFMF? You know, your name starts with a J.
Yeah, no, it's totally random one. You know, do you know what it stands for actually?
Honestly, I don't know.
What do you think it stands for?
I mean, like,
Mother, father. No lah, it's music for my friends. So what we set out to do was the idea was to just make music for artists, because we don't see ourselves performing. We wanted to pivot off DJing already because it's not my thing. DJing, staying up until like 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning is not my thing. So we tried that for a while. Then we thought, hey, why don't you just try to make music for artists? Yeah, so that's where the pivot came from, lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think for both of you, when you came into the picture, right? I mean, initially you said it was just a conversation, right?
Yeah.
But when you came into the picture, what did you see in them you've seen so many people, 19 out of 20 fail, right? What did you see in them that made you want to be part of it?
So I think I don't think I've ever said this to him. It's a little bit of pity as well, you know what I mean? Because
I'll take it. Dude. That time everyone was desperate.
they seem like really nice guys. That they were just so clueless, and I had the connects. That was one, but I think what really made me okay, I'll take a chance with them is that first initial honest conversation.
Oh, yeah.
That we had with each other, and I'm the kind of guy that don't ask the regular questions. I really just cut straight to the case and no fluff. So I really asked them stuff like, how much money do you have in the bank account? And when they said that they quit their corporate job without any safety net, I said, are you nuts? You guys are crazy. How are you going to pay me?
Yeah.
I asked real question, and I've also asked them what did your partners think about it? Because Justin had a girlfriend back then, who is now a wife.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I say that, look, you go back and talk to your partners. If they are not agreeable to your career choice, I'm out.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Okay.
Because I know the breaking point is always they'll say yes, yes, yes. But if there's a rejection or a blockade, right, down the road where you say, hey, money's not coming in, you really need to think, I want to get married, blah, 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 it will crumble.
Yep.
For sure.
For sure.
So your romantic partner is very important to the equation here. So I had all these conversations with them, and they were very honest about it, and I sort of allowed them that space to reconsider their choices and not need to say okay, commit to me now,
Right? Yeah. I think you gave us a week or so to think about it, lay out what's the possible
Get all the
plan.
blessings.
Yeah, get okay, there's a few routes you can take, A, B, C, what's on the menu. I think that time, I think it was pretty clear what we wanted to do because we told ourselves, 1 year, give it all out, don't think about it, all cards on the table, I told him how much money I have. I remember clearly it was $12,000.
Okay.
What was your burn rate month to month?
Probably less than 2K. Okay. Which is still a ticking time
It's also
bomb.
a ticking time bomb, yeah.
6 months left,
Exactly,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And so we have also some royalties coming in. So we're thinking about how we're going to pay him if we really cannot generate sales or whatever. Then, okay, we all prepped that already. We said that, are we okay to accept the risk? Then they said, okay, we accept the risk. Are we okay? Let's go. You know what I mean? And then we said that, okay, let's try this out for 6 months.
So basically, it was a risk from your side to him and also from your side to them because you're not getting the money
Yeah,
upfront.
yeah.
Right?
So I offered them a creative deal because I kind of sympathize with them, and also but I saw that drive, you know what I mean? I think that hunger was very important for me.
Yep.
So I was like, you know what, I'll offer you a creative deal. I know there's no way you're gonna make 4K a month to pay me back.
Yep.
Hell no. I know at the start, just like any other business, you dump in that sunk cost, maybe 1-2 years you'll make it back, right? So I said, never mind, you don't pay me until that 6 months is up, and then we'll figure out how you're gonna recoup at that point.
What made you believe in them? I mean,
No, actually, I knew I would make back anything.
Wow.
I knew I would make it back.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was more like a test to see how ballsy they are.
Yep.
Whether do they have what it takes, because this is a brutal industry.
yeah.
Yeah, and if you're not a risk taker, it's really, really hard. So I kind of leap of faith with them as well. As much as it's a leap of faith for them, it's for me as well. Yeah.
So what happened during the next 6 months when he came
The next 6 months is grind, dude. It's grind time, you know what I mean?
What did he change?
Okay, so he was like, so he said, we have to input a structure into this, you know what I mean? Because at that time we were still operating very I'm a musician, man. Come on, you know what I mean?
Start work whenever lah, bro.
Yeah, chill,
But yeah, for the vibes, you know what I mean? Go grab a coffee first. But no, we thought that, hey, you know, we really need a structure. Everybody comes in at 11. Let's have a meeting in the morning for half an hour first. We still do it until today, every day. So then we say, okay, lay out what's the task. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Everybody have their individual tasks. Then we'll meet again, convene again at about 5, 6 p.m. to talk about what's your progress. You know what I mean? So it's very corporate-like structure, which is what we're used to. So we're okay with it. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother us. It's just like, okay, I'm cool with it. I like structure. You know, I like direction because it's better than what we had before, which is no direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's a KPI every month as well. Remember, I said that we need to release one song a month. Yeah, that's the minimum. No matter what.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't sleep, you get it done.
Yeah.
If you can't do it, it's okay. Bye.
Yeah.
You know?
So grind down, man.
So who was the first artist that you guys approached and, you know?
Bill. Was it Bill?
Bill. No, we had a plan. I said that you guys are not releasing any music by yourself.
Yeah.
That's a shit show.
Ah,
You
okay.
need to have someone who's more famous than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to like
Leverage on them.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's leverage after leverage after leverage. So once you leverage off this person, you see okay, who are they connected to that you can leverage off and say that hey, I'm already working with that person. You want to try me out?
So by the time are you guys already like generating like income? Like for example, like you get someone in, you're still zero.
Zero, bro.
Okay, so all this are just for exposure.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the risk, you know what I mean? And we it was very intentional that it was done that way as well. Like every time when a new artist comes in, we always like take stories, take pictures, blah, blah, blah. There's a camera always ready. So what we wanted to create is create an illusion of hype. I mean, it is hype.
It is hype.
You know?
Oh, I also remember the first thing I said that your room cannot be all fluorescent white.
Yeah.
You know, they were
We'll get to that. Yeah, I saw that as well.
yeah, so that was actually a very we were very mindful about it.
Yeah,
right? We
yeah.
said that we want to
Intentional.
create this like elusive like hey, how come all these artists are working with these guys? I've never heard of these guys before.
Yeah. And
But
what's
then it's
this mysterious purple room they're in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
But where is this place actually? Is it someone's home or is it?
Okay, so my parents own that house. Okay, but usually when you think, oh, parents own the house, they let you stay for free lah or whatever.
Yeah.
No. Okay, in fact, because this is not a career choice, they tax me for it even more than normal rent. Okay, so imagine a small room in.
Punishing you for things.
Yeah. So let's say a small room in SS2 maybe costs to rent lah. Okay, maybe like what 600, 500?
Yeah.
They charge me $1,000 for it then. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, this is the bad career choice tax. Okay, so and that's where we operated since then until now. And like I think from then we slowly expanded and we took over the whole space already, and it's still just a room.
So that's your office now.
Yeah, that's my office now. That's our office.
Yeah. So now back to the fluorescent light, right? So why the change?
because it looks like you're doing music in an accounting firm. Like how, bro? Like people want to do a story, so they think twice because it looks so butt ugly, dude. Yeah. So I said no, we're gonna get some colored lights. And back then it wasn't popular, like the LED lights, like all these neon. No, right? But we went sourcing and stuff like that, and then we put some nice vibe to it.
Yeah.
I think it's also creating a certain image as well, right? That people can connect to.
Exactly.
They see that purple vibe, they know, okay, this is MFMF.
That's right. You get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally visual branding. Everything like around MFMF is really a strong branding that really pushes forward. Like yes, the core product is music, but we've already got that down. You know, but it's like you need to create that narrative, that story, that talking point when people say, hey, what's that purple room, huh?
Yeah.
You know? So when it's word of mouth, it builds that mystery. So it somehow makes your brand a little bit larger than life. Yeah, so that's the strategy behind it.
When did you know that, after 6 months that this was actually going to work out? Like this was starting? Because at one point you wanted to be involved with them, right?
Yeah, so I think midway through, 3 months in, seeing them grind without any pushback. So I'm so used to creative or artists in particular creating all kinds of excuses, like I cannot wake up I cannot get rid of cigarettes even though it's burning through their pocket.
I got a creative block. I cannot.
I
I only work at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but to be honest, I think what he mentioned just now, right? Like he creating music using the mindset of an accountant, which is working tax. I think blending your creativity with the discipline of actually working in an accounting firm, was your competitive edge?
Yeah, probably because I think like we when we thought about it that way, and it's just like, and we got better and better implementing that strategy, that discipline. So when you see it working for you, you just keep going at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even up until now, it just becomes like second nature already. So making music is not a concern anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this level.
Yeah. So 3 months in, I saw that pattern. And then I was like, okay, this is a winning formula. Like I haven't seen in a lot of people. So that's when I knew, okay, success rate went up a bit. It went up already. But then, for me, it's like, what do I have to lose by going all in on them? You know what I mean? I'm not dumping money in. I'm just losing time and
Yep.
effort, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I said, look, like, I want to convert whatever that money that you owe me into shares in the company by the time 6 months is up.
Why did you buy into that suggestion? What value did you see him bringing in the first 3 months that?
I think like when the 3 months in, I think we got along very well, and we see the thing in a similar way as well. Like our drive, we're not. So what I like about Brendan is that we're not emotional about it. We're like, like art for us is not commodity. You know what I mean? We are. So I think you also instill a lot of values in me. Like, you know what, art is just art. It's one thing to another. You know what I mean? You have to use that to trade it. You know what I mean? And like that mindset and that kind of growth that we've been seeing, we don't want to stop that. You know what I mean? It feels like such a waste if we just lose another man, then we got to rethink our strategy. Yeah, maybe you need to split more, but you know what? A smaller piece of a big pie is better than wait, how do I say this?
A small piece of a watermelon is bigger than a big piece of a grape.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Your mind hurts, dude.
Oh no. Okay, a small percentage of something is better than 100% of nothing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
Editor, you just cut straight there.
Yeah. So we thought that it's working. Let's not try to kill the momentum right now, because we are really seeing the growth of the hype, you know what I mean? And mind you, we started from zero, like nobody, zero followers. It's not like we were influencers before this, going to push this thing, you know what I mean? So it was
our social numbers. There was a lot of positive signal. Like our social numbers were going up.
Yeah.
We know people were talking about us.
Yeah.
Of course they won't publicly say it, but but through conversations you can get a feel of the nuances in the scene. It's not a very big scene.
Yeah. I mean, of course, data analytics, the Instagram sharing your stories. People are sending that shit around.
You know who's watching your stories.
Yeah.
So who was that one artist that had that verified tick and come to you guys and say like I want to do a show? Did you guys reach out to them, and who was the first one that actually got on the show?
So there's this artist, his name is called Hil Huzaini. He's like a A-lister in the Malay scene.
Okay.
So he just slid into our DMs to be like, hey, bila nak buat lagu? I'm like,
We're getting catfish.
but account macam verified. Like,
That's a blue tick.
yeah. So I'm like, then of course we were also very intimidated by it because he's the star. This guy had like 2 million followers and we had like maybe not even 1,000 followers at the time.
Cool.
It was mad. They were like, yo, what the hell? What do we do? Can we even deal with him in the session? And because we haven't had a lot of experience before, you know what I mean? So we were worried that what if we disappoint him, or do we like we're not up to par, So, but hey, an opportunity is an opportunity. Just take the risk.
No, I remember you guys were very hesitant at that point.
Yeah.
And I think Zen was the one that replied. And he just replied like, haha, soon or something like that.
Oh yeah.
He was very not committal. And I'm like, no, this shit ends here.
Yeah.
You're going to set a time and you're going to set a place and it's going to happen, right? I don't care if you're not ready or whatever, but
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Right. So I flipped it.
I remember
Exactly,
I remember that very clearly. So when that happened, when he set the date, when he came in, we thought like, okay, is he gonna bring a whole entourage here? You know what I mean? You imagine like maybe there's be like 7, 8 guys coming up like, yo, fear, dude. Really, before he came, I'm like sweating, dude. I was worried. Prepare the sessions, get everyone warmed up, get ready. Okay, so when he came, one fella. Took a grab.
Just him.
Yeah.
Just him.
Just him. He's like the chillest guy, like very low key.
Yeah, so I'm sure that there was one advice that this artist gave you, right? So if you can remember until today, right, what was that advice, and how did it help you until your journey until right now?
I think the best advice he gave is like, when it comes to writing lyrics, don't overthink it too much. Because being like So my first language is English, right? But it's a bunch of Chinese guy writing Malay songs, right? So for me, it's not so second nature.
Yeah.
So I always question my grammar, whether my imbuhan is right and all that. And back then, we used to check with him, like, say, hey, bro, like this makes sense or not?
Boleh tak, bro?
Yeah, boleh jalan, and all that.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he told me that, bro, don't overthink it. You can put anything in a song, right? It doesn't have to fully make sense. As long as it fits the song and it sounds good, that's it. You
It's
know?
more to emotions, right? Though emotions
Exactly.
get sparked.
Exactly. So it's really about the emotion it brings, you know. So I think that's like a very valuable advice that he gave.
And I think you guys have a competitive edge as well for Malay being not your first language, right? When you guys come from a different language that you guys are comfortable with and you come into the Malay scene, you add a lot of stuff that is different that people have never seen or heard of before, right?
Yes.
You come from a different mentality as well, right?
Yeah. I think we kind of like, because we don't, you know, it's like being classically trained in music, you know,
Yeah.
you're kind of like structured to
Correct.
play a certain way. But if you're not bounded by those rules, you just rojak the damn thing.
It's something
Yeah.
different that people have not heard before.
Yeah, so you're right. Yeah.
No, but I would counter that by saying that because it's not our first language, we get questioned a lot for our lyrics.
Yes,
You know what I
that
mean?
too.
That is like
That's the cons lah.
Yeah.
How do you guys overcome that, man?
I think because we have a hit that is we
Simple. When you have a hit song, nobody questions you.
yeah
Okay, so what was this hit song then?
We had 2 hit songs.
yeah.
Okay.
In year 2020, we had 2 hit songs. One was Peluang Kedua, which was a big ballad in 2020. Then we had this song called Cute,
Yep.
Yeah,
which was
Cute.
viral on TikTok. lah.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Cute
very-
is crazy.
Yeah.
You had about 4 million views, listeners now? Was it more?
Yeah, I know. On YouTube, I think there's 17 million views on YouTube.
Nice, wow,
Mad,
that's amazing,
dude.
man.
Mad.
Good stuff.
Why was it like? Why did that stand out like crazy? What did you guys do differently?
So that was like the first round of the pandemic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When everybody was on their phones the whole time.
Yeah.
So this fella was exploring. Nobody was using TikTok at that time. The first MCO, everybody thought TikTok was damn cringe.
Yeah.
You know, and all the content of TikTok was kind of questionable. You know, for a while. You know. So and this guy was scrolling TikTok, and then he saw this guy who was on a ukulele singing that part of the song.
Yeah.
Then he sent to us, and he was like, "Hey, why don't we jump on this track? I mean, we all got nothing to do. You got nothing to do, right? Okay, everyone MCO, right? No job, right? Okay, let's explore something, lah. Let's set up a call with him and see how we can take this further."
It was just a random guy, just on TikTok. Just
Random,
a random
random,
guy.
bro.
So he's not even an artist.
No.
That goes against what you guys were trying to do.
Yeah.
In a way, in a
Okay,
way.
so if there's one thing about us is at least for me when I business develop, right, I like to go to a really crazy strategy. You know, if everybody's taking the right lane, I'll go left.
Out of the box.
Out of the box. Yeah, I don't like crowded places, you know. So we thought like, look, if I can make an internet person become an artist, why not?
Oh, that's so impressive. I thought he was someone famous. That's why you got so many views. But he was somebody who.
He was a YouTuber,
YouTuber.
but
Okay.
he wasn't like big. You know, he was
Yeah.
part of a collective of people. You know, yeah. So and that's basically. But when we found the tip, we didn't even know what was his background
Yeah.
until we actually spoke to him, and then he told us just like, oh,
Yeah.
because it was a very different market. He was in a very Malay market that we're not exposed to back then. Yeah, but we took a chance.
So he only sang a lyric of the song, but you guys made it a song.
Yes.
So how did it come about then?
So I thought that was a really catchy melody. It was a very simple yet catchy melody, and I don't know. I think as like composers and writers, we kind of have that intuition that okay, this is something.
Yeah.
So and there was nothing to lose, like Justin said.
Yeah.
Like no one has anywhere to be. Right?
Yeah.
I'm sitting in front of my computer all day.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Let's do it. But guys, tough. Dude, this guy doesn't have a proper mic. Like
Yeah.
He's like, then when we approached him, he got shocked, you know, because he was like, hey, you guys sure, you know, I'm not a singer. You know, yeah, he got scared, dude. Yeah,
I think at one point he even
Like
told
a fish.
us that why don't you guys sing the song lah?
yeah.
Yeah.
You want to give you the song?
Hey,
Because it's outside his comfort zone, you know what I mean? Then
Yeah.
we told him that, hey, you know, don't worry, just come over, just try. You know, if it's really bad after recording, we can even just delete it. Project.
How did you get it from somebody like that to 70 million views?
It's mad. Once we had that clip, okay, then we said, okay, let's try to compose around it. So we wrote lyrics around it.
Yes.
You know, he gave us some ideas. So we composed the entire song. I sang it. You know, we all kind of pitched in and said, how are we gonna perform this? Then we sent the track to him, like with my vocals on it. Then he said, oh, sounds great, dude.
Yeah.
Then he felt a bit more confident and said, okay, you know what? We tried to record at home remotely and it failed horribly because
Yeah.
equipment problems, right? So he told him to come to the studio, record it. During recording, I remember even he was like not confident at all. He was like, when he recorded, he was like, "This is my voice. Oh man, disgusting." You know?
Yeah, no, it's written all on his face. Yeah.
It was like pure like, are you guys sure? And we were like, yes, we are very sure.
This shit is fire, dude, fire.
So you guys knew. It wasn't like something that Sunny probably. You guys knew that this was going to be the shit.
I mean, we wanted to make a good product. You know what I mean? And it was just an experiment to see where it will go. You know, we had an inkling that it will do well, but it's not something that we put our expectations on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more like, hey, let's just have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
And then you managed to get local beats like that as well, right?
Yeah.
So how did that come about, you know?
I think we only had the first verse and chorus with Harif, right? And then as the song was developing, I was thinking, no, we need to have like an artist to sort of like legitimize the song, you know? Sort of that Sirim stamp that this is not a joke, you know? So, and we thought, okay, a rapper would be nice, but then getting a male rapper is cliche. So it's like, what if it's a female MC coming in? You know, something different. Again, going to the left when everybody's going to the right. So we found Loka. I think someone suggested to us, right?
Yeah, and I think it was Denise. I think because Denise is friends with her from school.
Yeah. So it was my girlfriend that suggested.
Yeah, and she was very very new at that time.
Yes, she was really new, really underground. So I was like, okay lah, everyone is new, nothing to lose. Let's try.
Chance.
Yeah, let's take a chance. And she was quite good. I remember a couple of videos, it was quite good. Yeah, so that's how Loka came into the picture. She wrote a verse, it was fire. You know, then we put everything together lah. Yeah.
So when you published it, how was your feeling like when you started seeing like the views like going up?
Oh, it was mad.
Oh, okay. So okay. At least I would say from personal. I knew it was going to be a hit before the song was out. All right. Pre-save.
Oh yeah. Because what we do is that we will put out the song for teasers, you know, pre-save. So meaning that people will have to pre-save your song. Then when the song comes out, you immediately be on their
So the
playlist.
pre-save was crazy.
Yeah, it was mad, dude.
Mad.
Like few thousand saved even without any like usually people will drive the saves up using contests or whatever, give away $500 or whatever. But
This was organic.
Purely organic. And like the views on the post of the teaser coming out, it went viral, you know, had like thousands of views, really tens of thousands of views just on the teaser clip alone. So I think those were really, really positive signs. But I mean, not 17 million view crazy, but hey, you'll get somewhere, you know.
Yeah. And mind you, because it's like we're all unknowns. Think about it. We're all unknowns. To have that number without a major label and all that, it's nuts.
Yeah, purely independent, guys.
Exactly. You're right. Yeah. So I think that was insane.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane. Like I think we were trending on YouTube #1 for like weeks. You know?
Weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks.
Yeah.
Damn, congrats, guys.
Hey,
Good
thanks.
stuff.
Thanks.
What changed after that? Like I mean, like the moment you guys are superstars. What
Dude, it was crazy.
Like thinking hard, should I do this or not? Now you realize are big time now.
I remember all the TV appearances.
Yeah, we had TV appearances non-stop for like 3-4 months.
Yeah, and big shows, dude.
Yeah,
like
big.
#1, like Meletup.
Meletup, music. Yeah, those were like Meletup is considered like the biggest show in the Malay market. You know what I mean? So everyone became like an artist lah. You know what I mean? Everyone had become solidified their position in the music scene after that song.
I think we were certainly like the MFMF name was certainly a conversation between all the major labels. So it's like we're considered a disruptor in the market in that sense because usually like your #1 trendings or your rim charts like our local charts to have a market share in that spot kind of eats into the major labels market share. Yeah, so it is essentially a threat, you know, and like we came from nowhere. So then we became that topic of conversation, like how the hell did these guys, you know, really from the ashes, like, you know, they rise.
And like labels came and tried to acquire us as well. They're like throwing money at us and stuff like that. They were like, hey, why don't I buy you out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
So
was
like how did you guys come about that? Do you guys feel like tempted to actually, you know what, actually you should just sell in Chow, you know, take the money? Did you guys ever felt that way?
I mean, because it's always been tough for you guys without money. Or suddenly someone throwing money is very tempting to actually.
Yeah, I mean it was like 6 figures. Yeah, no problem. 6 figures.
Yeah.
from zero.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we were tempted for like 2 minutes lah. Then like
Hot 2 minutes.
hot 2 minutes lah. You know. But then I think because we built ourselves to that point, we're not done yet. You know what I mean? We're just only starting. You know what I mean? And to clamp it down right now, to be owned by somebody and to be owned by somebody, essentially all our work, feels like it's a bit too soon for that to happen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like we're selling low. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel like there's a lot more potential and upside to it.
Yeah. I think our we believe in ourselves so much that we can keep building. So we thought, hey, just keep going. Let's just turn this down and let's go, man.
It was a nice. It was flattery.
Yeah, it was flattering. It was flattering.
It's validation for your work.
Yeah,
exactly,
The work that you guys are doing, but there's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I mean, after when we had that hit, I think we had targets painted on our backs. You know what I mean? Because we are essentially fighting with the major label. And us as indie who can make so much noise, of course they're worried. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, it didn't end with Cute. We had Cute remix actually,
Yeah.
which also blew up. It was also a viral thing. And remember leverage of the leverage. So I think one thing that we're very good at is being very creative with like our strategy. So what we had, so remember we said we had the biggest ballad. So that was sung by Nabila Razali, right? She's also like Malaysia's darling. Like, you know what I mean?
She's like Taylor Swift lah.
Like Taylor Swift level. So I remember back at that point, we had her in the studio, and then we were thinking, hey, what, do you think she want to do a verse? And we just call it a remix.
Wow.
So we had cute Nabila Razali remix.
Yeah.
So we took
That blew up.
yeah.
Song with a big name.
That's it.
On the top in the charts, basically it's just us number one, number two, number two, number one, number one, number two. We just dominated the charts.
And the remix had like 7 million views on YouTube also. It's mad, dude.
Stuff, man.
Trending number one as well.
Yeah. So I think that also gave us a lot of positive signal that we can keep doing this. You know what I mean?
So from the time that you guys like didn't really take that deal, obviously you guys saw yourself as somebody who's going to be very, very big, right? So where do you guys see yourself? What's the plan for MFMF after this?
What days are?
Like what's your vision?
I think
Branding,
it's MFMF is really, really a brand, you know, and really long term, I don't see MFMF as just being like music only. You know, I want to transcend to other industries as well. You know, so yeah, which industry we really don't know as of yet. You know, but I think the natural path would be music into a more like a media-like company because we do shoot our own content and all that. You know, me being from like production background, you know, we can do to a certain level of production. So that's why you see, I think MFMF is like the only producer artist group that is very active on social media. Like we churn out content like a media company essentially. You know, but that's how we keep our clients having us top of mind.
Yeah.
You know, it is a strategy.
Yeah, and I also saw that you guys usually had a international artist on board, right? Jimmy Brown. So how did that come about? You know, a Korean artist coming here and singing a song, a Malay song, mind you. Right?
Korean artist with an English name.
Korean artist, it was predominantly a Korean song, but we made sure that we wanted a Malay word in there because I guess our vision is also to export Malaysian music to an international market. You know, and I don't think there's ever a Korean song that uses a Malay word.
Exactly.
You know, and we want to represent. You know, we are proud Malaysians. You know what I mean? So we really want to bring our music and our culture and export it outside. So yeah, so I think that project was, I guess, like a stepping stone towards that.
How did he agree to it? You know,
How did it come about?
Yeah.
So we met Jimmy at an online writing session. So a lot of people don't know this, but in the back end, we actually do write for a lot of K-pop artists. In
Nice.
Korea. So what happens is we'll get like because we're tied to Warner Chappell as our publisher. So what they'll do is they will get like leads from around the world and say that okay, you know, let's say Big Bang wants a song and in this style, you know, write and we'll pitch it forward. So we got paired up with Jimmy for one of the session. It was for NCT, right? Yeah. So NCT is a big boy band in the K-pop world. So usually online writing session, this is COVID by the way, so we can't meet physically. Online writing session is always a bit awkward, you know.
I don't like it personally.
Making music is such a
Fluid process.
Personal thing, right? Like you need to.
intimate process, right? So having it done online through Zoom is very disconnected. But for some reason, working with Jimmy was super fluid. Like we just hit it off, you know. So he really liked like our ideas and the style that we bring. We really like his ideas. So that session went like really, really well. And then from there, we already had Rindu back then. You know, we didn't really know what to do with it. And then I was like, hey, I can hear like this. If a Korean element come in, I think it would really work. So we kind of took a chance and asked him, hey, Jimmy, would you be open to doing a song with us? And before we asked him, we already checked out his Spotify game and it was strong. Okay, it was like strong. It's like, it's not no one lah. And then we were like, again lah, questioning ourselves like, what are the odds? You know?
But there's this line we say, trying it is for free.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just asking is for free. There's no cost. I mean,
What's the
worst? Yeah, what's the worst? He'd say no, right? That's it.
You don't fall back.
Yeah, you don't fall back. So we said, hey, do you want to jump on the track? He said, yeah, cool, dude. I love the song.
Yeah. I guess that's how we got him on board lah.
I mean, the rest is history.
Correct.
Yeah.
So do you guys plan to go like more towards the international direction after this?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I think we've played the domestic market long enough. I think it's time for us to step into like more international waters. Actually, this year our plan is to head to Korea to finish our EP and shoot all the music videos over there as well. So I think we're planning about like 5 songs, but each song again, it's not just MFMF standalone, it's MFMF featuring a Korean artist. Jimmy is one of them. But there's going to be 4 others that's going to be part of it.
Nice. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, like not bad for someone starting off doing audit and tax.
In a house with the white lights and all that, right?
And here we are. You know what I mean? If you dream it, you can make it work. I mean, honestly, it's all about the grind. You know what I mean? I think the why we work is because we are willing to put in the hours. And a lot of people are not willing to put in the hours. I mean, maybe circumstances and whatnot, but given what we have, we just say that, you know what, let's just try our best to make it work. We just put in the hours, try to be smart about it. I mean, you can see from the conversation, everything is quite intentional. It's not like, hey, let's just do song and let's see where it goes, man. You know what I mean?
Very deliberate.
Let's see where it goes. No, I mean, no, none of that. You know what I mean? We're very structured, very thoughtful about what we do. There's no really accidents per se. So I think if anybody wants to embark on this journey, it's always to have a plan and have a strategy and not just like, let's see where it goes. You know what I mean? If you want to be doing photography, you must have a plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the plan has and also trusting the process.
Oh, yeah.
Important, you know what I mean? So I think what this career has given me is that, you know what, just trust the process. You know, it might not work for the next 2-3 months, but maybe it works in maybe in 5-6 months time. But you just have to believe yourself and the process enough to make it work.
But of course, guys, saying it is a lot easier, especially when you see your bank account dwindling to zero. You know, that mental stress.
Dude, I had by the time before we really trying to make it work, I probably had maybe 800 ringgit left, dude. Dude, I'm cutting it close already, you know what I mean?
Hail Mary, dude.
Yeah, it's really a Hail Mary move, you know? And I think if it wasn't for that dwindling bank account, I wouldn't have this much hunger as well. Like if I were be sitting on top of maybe 200,000, a trust fund, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have that hunger and I wouldn't
You wouldn't have your back against the wall with no choice, right?
You guys have to bang through the wall already, you know, there's no avoiding it. I cannot get contractors to knock down the wall. You know what I mean? And I think that's ultimately that's what makes MFMF, you know what I mean? The 3 of us think the same way, and surprisingly we don't fight also, you know what I mean? The 3 of us, we know what's the end goal. And I think I'm very blessed to have great partners like Zen and Brendan, you know, who see the same thing as well. You know, the last thing you want is another guy who's like, I'm not feeling it, lah. What are you talking about? Let's not do all this, you know what I mean? But we're like, once he says something, we're like, oh, we get it. We get why you think that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Very objective driven.
Yeah.
Good stuff, guys. I think we're coming to the end of our show. So I just want to thank you guys for coming here today.
Hey, the pleasure's ours.
Yeah. And good luck, to MFMF, and to those who are listening at home, Cute and also Rindu is out now. So yeah,
all streaming platforms.
Yeah,
so go check it out.
Support your local boys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Thank you everyone for listening to this podcast episode. I hope he has brought you tremendous value. Do share this with your family and friends so that we can help inspire them as well. Together with the journey, let's go out there to aspire, inspire, and perspire.